Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask. In the last episode, we explored a bit of Ocarina Canyon, and we learnt about the Gibdos, that they're hiding something in the well, there's some treasure down there, and that the well is a nice way to get through to Ocarina Castle, where the king might tell us how to get through to Stone Tower, the big kind of temple in the Ocarina region, and teach us how to cure the curse that's plaguing the land. The living are having a rough time, the dead cannot rest. None of these are particularly good. So we are going there soon. We just need to deal with some shopping in the meantime. And basically, we're about to go on a very strange quest, and so we need to buy a lot of supplies for it. Unusual supplies that you might not be prepared for. And I say buy, only one of these things are we actually going to buy. You technically can buy almost all of them, but I'm going to find the vast majority of them. So if we come here first to the bomb shop, if we Goron up, then we have this Goron to the right here who will sell us a powder keg. We're going to need one at some point, relatively soon, so let's go there. Next, we need to head to kind of southish Termina Field, kind of around somewhere between Woodfall and Great Bay. So there's this kind of pool of water here. Oh, spat on the microphone, sorry. And if we, oh yes, of course, Goron Link can't swim. If we Zora up, then we've got a couple of useful things here. There is a chest which contains finances, which I'll never frown upon. 20 quid, not to be frowned upon, and then we can also grab, motherfucker, I can spend an entire episode, there we go, I can grab a fish instead of a Zora egg fucking 3 times in a row when I don't want it, but as soon as I do want a fish, apparently they're hard to get hold of. Ugh. Anyway, yes, I am still salty about that in case you're wondering, but what I need to do for now is head over here partway towards Woodfall, which I never really noticed how clearly you can see Woodfall in the distance there. We need to head to this rock. If you remember, the Skull Kid and Tattle and Tail sheltered under here when they first became friends. But what we need to do is reveal a secret cave here. You can use bombs for this, but I am going to use, because we don't use it often enough, the Blast Mask. He says, not using the Blast Mask successfully, because I didn't actually put it on. And a hole appears at the beginning. At the beginning? In the middle. So down here, there is... Oh, sorry, still got the Blast Mask on. So I pressed B to slice with my sword and ended up blowing somewhere up. We have got 3 cows here. 2 cows, sorry. I was incorrect in an earlier episode where I said that if you talk to them with the Romani mask on, you get milk, because indeed, if I try and do that, you will find very much that that is not the case. You put Romani mask on and talk to them, and they don't say anything because they're cows and you can't talk to them. But you can convince them to give milk by playing a song for them, a very specific song which cows like. And they say, nice music. It reminds me of the pasture. That song makes me want to let go and put out a lot of milk. I'll give some to you. Milk will make you very healthy. Also, who made that sound? Did you hear that song going, That's not a cow noise. Oh, I don't feel great about that. But yes, you had your bottle filled with milk. Drink up. Blah, 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 blah. We don't actually need the milk to drink. We need it for the same thing we're doing a lot of this shopping for. 2 more things to gather. Let's go to the Deku Scrub outside of the Swamp Tourist Centre. And as you must have noticed by now, he sells you magic beans. So we'll buy one from him. And then we've got one more thing to really kind of gather on our shopping expedition. So if we turn into Goron Link, just because weirdly enough, Goron Link is actually the fastest way of getting through the swamp. Go away. But Goron Link, oh, he's asking us about the title deed, which we don't have because we did that quest in another cycle. But yes, Goron Link is weirdly the fastest way of getting through the swamp. That's what I wanted. I wanted a single Deku nut. But yeah, the swamp is rarely deep enough to actually even drown Goron Link, so you can just kind of roll around here. What happens if I? Oh no! Apparently that still fucks me up. Right. Anyway, let's soar over to Akana. Ikana Canyon, I should say. Not that we have multiple warp points in Ikana, but you must have noticed by now each region has 2 warp points. Mountain Village, Snowhead, Great Bay Coast, Zora Cape, Southern Swamp, Woodfall, Clocktown, Milk Road, and we only have the Ikana Canyon for one for one. One, for now, even. But we'll be getting the other one in Ikana next episode, I believe. Anyway, with that done, I was going to say, with our sword here, what we actually need to head to is this... Oh, right at the top here, we have this spirit house there, and then further beyond that is our goal right here. I was going to show you that thing, but... So that's a blue bubble, and it has cursed us. We can't draw our sword or any weapon or item. Fortunately, we're Goron Link, so we can still beat the shit out of people successfully. If indeed we show tattle on them, that's a blue bubble. Quick, run! Don't let it curse you. If it comes after you, defend yourself to block it. Or punch it right in the mouth. I love Goron Link sometimes. Anyway, this here is Empty Well. Entry prohibited due to ghost sightings. In fairness, firstly, I spat on the mic. Again, I'm really bad for that tonight. I don't know why. But also, secondly, Ikana is like 90% ghosts at this point. Anyway, in Ikana Well... That was a really weird point to end it on going, in Ikana Well, and not saying anything further than that. But we want the Gibdo mask ready. Because this is Gibdo territory, as we were warned by Pamela's father last episode. So, slap that on. We can go straight ahead here, but it ain't too useful. If you look at the map on the bottom screen, you will see where chests are and where the route forwards is generally. With the Gibdo mask on, Gibdos won't attack us, and indeed, we can actually speak to them, and they all request something very specific, which is why I've been doing this mad shopping list. Leave it! Leave it! Leave me something crunchy that sprouts leaves when watered! What does that sound like? Indeed, that's the magic bean. A number of these items were fucking awful in the original version of the game. I don't know if beans are amongst them, but I'll talk about that in a sec. Ah, this! I bear you no more remorse. And he unlocks the door behind him, which is great. Now I'm going to ignore that side room entirely there. There's only a load of bollocks in there. And if we proceed on, we have this Gibdo here. And if we speak to him, he said, leave it, leave it. Leave me something that flashes brightly and can also be dropped like a bomb. What he's describing is a Deku Nut. This was definitely a shitty one. In the original version of the game, it required 10 Deku Nuts for him to pass. A fair few of them are like that. They required quite a lot in the original version. Everything only requires 1 in this point. In this version of the game. As in the 3D remake. Next, we want to follow this all the way around, and if we talk to this guy here... Leave it, leave it. Leave me something that goes boom. Shit, do I have bombs? Fuck, I didn't even check that, but I do have bombs, fortunately. And he says the usual, and on we can proceed. I'm gonna get something in my items ready. And in we go. And time for a mini-boss. 3 blue flames, what does this look like? Indeed, it's another Big Poe. And we have technically already faced one of these, because we faced one in Ikana Graveyard. But this may well be your first time coming across them, because the stuff we did in Ikana Graveyard with the Captain's Hat and everything like that, that is all completely optional. Like, even now, like... We are exploring Ikana thoroughly, but everything... Actually, no, the Captain's Hat isn't optional, because you need to have the Song of Storms, because you need it in order to stop Sharp's death melody. So I guess in that point it's not irrelevant, but that's only the first night that you actually need to do. Every other night, like the second and third nights with Dampe, especially in Ikana Graveyard, is technically completely optional. But yes, he, as ever, disappears and turns into a spirit which can be caught in a bottle, and we'll hang on to that for now and head back into the well. Now, we don't want to talk to this guy here. He's not particularly interesting. We need to go this way. And then... Basically, if you look on the map at the bottom, we're going for that circular bit in the top left. If we talk to this guy here... Oh, there's a War Master's going to drop on us, but hopefully we'll avoid it. Leave it! Leave it!
Leave me something fresh that thrives in water.
That sounds like a fish, doesn't it? This section can be incredibly annoying if you haven't already gathered stuff, which is why I was happy to spend at least 10 minutes of the first episode, the first part of this episode, just basically doing shopping. From here, we want to go straight on, and there is this bloke here, and he says the usual...
Leave it, leave it. Leave me a ghost, and a big one at that.
And so he wants a big Poe. There are two in the game. There's the one we just fought right now, and there is the one underneath Ikana Graveyard. You may have the Ikana Graveyard one. It's perhaps unlikely, but you may have it. Far easier is to get the big Poe that was down here in the well anyway, so we'll give him that.
Ah, this, I bear you no remorse.
So, if we go through here, then there's this nasty spiky shit up ahead. Oh, and there's another wall mat that's going to fall on us, so just keep moving until the shadow stops, and then attack it when it actually lands properly. We need fire arrows at least to burn through this spider webbing over here. And then you'll notice there's a skull chiller here, which I can also kill with a bottle! No, with a fire arrow. And then there's a load of bugs running around on the floor. Let's grab some of the bugs. And then we can get a brief little goodie if we head back to the last room. And then we head to the right here, and yes, this Gibdo here. Again, in case I haven't made this clear, if you're not wearing the Gibdo mask, these Gibdos will rip you the fuck apart. But if we talk to him with the Gibdo mask...
Leave it, leave it. Leave me something small and creepy.
And bug is exactly what he's after. And so with that, we can briefly pop into this room where if we light the further two torches, I believe it is, not the two actually by the wall. Wonderful. We get a chest, good one. Chest, which is quite nice for 50 quid, which I'll never frown upon. Remember, we need 5,000 rupees in the bank at some point relatively soon in the game. We need it before the end of the game. We are in the final area, so that's going to come up sooner rather than later. We now need to get just past these spiky boys, so... Oh, there's a bloody thing falling on my head. I'm just going to completely ignore it. No, I'm not going to completely ignore it, actually. I'm going to shiv it to death. And then when this raises... Another one? Really? Ugh. Again, if they grab you, they'll just take you to the beginning of the dungeon. It's not particularly irritating. It's not particularly bad, it's just time-consuming and therefore irritating. With this final guy here...
Leave me something that a nearby cow plays when you play a certain song. He said makes rather than plays, but well,
And with that, we reach the end of the well. So you got 4 arrows, there's torches that need to be lit here. Again, you can light one of them and use a Deku stick, but just it never seems like you have Deku sticks really. You have to basically wake up from the dawn of the first day and go straight to the southern swamp if you really want to have Deku sticks. We obviously, don't have any. Or you can just use fire arrows, especially with the double magic meter. It ain't much of a problem. Here we get something we've seen before, but not in the current form that we see it in. You'll understand when you see it. Indeed, we got the Mirror Shield, but unlike in other games, the Mirror Shield is screaming like the damned, if you look at its face, because that's the kind of game this is. If you press R while L targeting, you can move while defending yourself. This special shield can also reflect certain kinds of light. Indeed, so the main thing we need to see so there's the Mirror Shield firing off. It's reflecting the face of the damned over there, and you have this like sigil here, which shows you, like, that's the kind of thing that's a sun switch, and that's made a ladder up here. Equally to a sun switch, you also have things that have the sun sigil on them. If you point your mirror shield to reflect the light at them, they will completely disappear, allowing you to proceed. Yeah, in previous games, the mirror shield has been a nicely polished shield, whereas this one's like, help, kill me, because that's the kind of game Majora's Mask is, apparently. Anyway, this brings us into a new area. This brings us into the ancient castle of Ikana. This is one way into the ancient castle of Ikana. There are multiple ways, and this is why I bought a powder keg earlier and will show it off. But once you've got through here, there is a shortcut back here just from Ikana Village, but for now, this is the main way we get here. and it has really cool music. I'm going to equip the captain's hat for a reason I will discuss soon. But yes, welcome to the ancient castle of Ocarina. It's quite big. It's a bit of a kind of pre-sub-dungeon of this area. It's not the true dungeon. You'll notice Tattle is summoning us here. If we talk to her, she says, "Sense for blood looping all around us." There are Garrows here. They will give us, once again, semi-useful advice. I will fight a Garrow if I feel like the advice they give or the information they give is particularly worth discussing, but here it's not. We've got a little quill statue, which I will save up. And then let's enter the ancient castle of Ocarina proper. So, 4 terrible new enemies here. These fucking things. You'll remember them if you've watched Ocarina of Time. Oh, if they touch me, I'm gonna have a bad time, bad time. Right, these are Redeads. If it catches you, it's paralysing the glare, you won't be able to move. Shake it off guard if you're caught. They're like a worse version of a Gibdo. But there's a nice way of handling them in this game. Wear any of the, what I call the Ocarina masks. The Garrow masks, the skull, the captain's hat, or the Gibdo mask. Wear any one of them and immediately Redeads are nullified. They're no longer aggressive, they dance around like idiots, and you can kill them quite easily. And they drop an absolute shit ton of cash when you kill them. Most of them will drop 15 or 20 rupees, which is quite nice. And yes, you can kill them in a single jump slash from the Gilded Sword. But they can be horrifying enemies, so it's nice to be able to deal with them quite easily. There's 2 doors here, there's a left one and a right one. Both are sealed, there's also a sun door dead ahead, but there's no light to reflect upon it. There's a frozen eye there, and a frozen eye there. So you can see exactly how this is going to work. Let's start by proceeding to the left. So there's 2 ways, this castle is basically symmetrical, and there's 2 ways through it, and you do have to do both, one way or the other. Here you have these weird lava bricks. If you try and... No, don't touch them. I was going to say if you try and touch them, bad things will happen, but just it's far easier for me to just say, don't touch them. Trust me, it's made of fire. You're going to have a bad time. I'm going to turn into Deku, which is a surprising thing, and then hit this switch. They raise up, but that's a time-limited thing. They're going to come back down. When they do, be ready in this flower. Platform comes back down, and we fly over the platforms onto this switch. We can't press the switch down because Deku Link's light as fuck. But that opens the way through to the next room. So you have to go via that switch. So you need to take advantage of when the platforms are up versus when the platforms are down. This next room here, we need another item we haven't used in a while. Well, I mean, it's not exactly a while because we did use it in Ocarina Graveyard, is the old Lens of Truth. Because there are some floating mines around, which we can shoot and not do much with, but... Am I thinking of the right place? Well, either way, we need to get over to that switch for now, which we can get to quite easily if we fly using Deku Link, and land on the switch. I believe this opens the door. Let's find out. My knowledge of Ancient Castle of Ocarina is not great. Yep, works fine. Then let's kill some Skulltulas. And then, dead ahead of us, oh, where do we go from here? That way! Ah, wonderful. And then we can just hop easily over there. And I made a twat of myself, surprisingly. The door is actually locked again, so I have to do that all again. And then, bingo, we're over to the door. We've seen these guys already, but these are blue bubbles. If they hit you, oh yes, you've been cursed. You can't draw your sword. You can use any other attacking weapons, like for example, I'm using the bow and arrow here happily. But yeah, the main thing is you can't draw your sword. So the other forms of Link are particularly good at this. You can be a Goron who can punch the shit out of people, or you can use the double cutters of Zora Link, happily enough. And these guys, they respawn quite readily, so I'm just going to go the fuck upstairs, because there's nothing to be done here. So, up here, I'm actually going to switch over to the Garrow mask, because there is a semi-useful Garrow upcoming, so I'm going to put the Garrow mask on. Oh shit, I'm still cursed. Oh fuck, I didn't think about this. Master, you called? What are you? Well, he's disarmed, but also I'm also disarmed, so that's quite embarrassing. Let's switch to, I guess, fire arrows will be fairly effective against him. Oh! The fuck do we do here? Ah! He's back. Good. Good to know the game has a contingency plan for if... Oh, because I know I tried to shoot him with the fire arrows, place the lens of truth instead. You can't use lens of truth and fire arrows at the same time. It's what I'm saying though. It's good that the game has a contingency plan for in case you were to get the Yagaro that you're stuck in combat with fires off the edge of the map. I shall take my final bow by opening my heart and revealing my wisdom. To counter the rage of the King of Ikana Castle, burn away that which disrupts the light and shine the sacred rays upon the king. Belief or disbelief rests with you. To die without leaving a corpse, that is the way of the Garrow. So, we'll be using that next episode. Mostly, there's a lot of irritating guys here. To the point where I am going to bring my arrows out because we need to deal with these guys one way or other soon enough. So, we've got two things to do here. We've got the thing we actually need to do and a thing that's helpful to do. So, helpful, good. Not even helpful, it's just... I'm not making a lot of sense. Either way. Oh, dear. Fuck, I didn't realise shooting at one of these things actually kills a man. Oh, no. Oh, this is why I said I was going to kill Guys. I didn't kill Guys. Why didn't I kill Guys? Well, I'm back down here now, so how do you reckon I get back to where I just was? Yep. You got it exactly right. We've got to make it through the entirety of the entire left-hand side of the ancient castle of Ikana. Once again, I will see you upstairs. Right, take two. It's actually getting close to morning now. Both in the game and in real life. It is around 2 a.m. Let's kill some of these guys. Some of them will try and dive bomb and attack you. Others will keep their distance. But they are relatively easy to shoot out of the air if you aim for them properly. And yet I only have 14 arrows left, so I can't exactly... Oh, nice! I can't exactly fire them around willy-nilly. Oh, one of them's coming for me. It's that one. Oh, have been surprisingly good with them so far. I'm going to hop down here and just give them a bit of time to approach. I can hear them. The fuckers are coming. There he is. There you go. Did another one appear over there? Did I not kill him? I must have killed him. That's going to be a hell of a shot to make. I'm not going to make it with 8 arrows, surely. Oh, I did, though, but I shot 2 on him on the last one. I gotta be... See, this is the issue here. I got a lot of guys to kill, and I ain't got many arrows to do it. And I feel like they are respawning. Either that or I'm being super duper paranoid. Right, fuck it. I'm going to do what I have to do here. If I have to fuck off out of this area and come back when I've got more arrows, so be it. But what I literally have to do is land on this switch and activate it. That exposes a shaft, which brings some light into the downstairs regions. I hate everything about what I just said, and yet it's technically accurate. Beyond that, if I have to come back here, I have to come back here for one final thing, which is not the end of the world. These guys are 100% respawning. That or I'm losing my damn mind. Ah, I definitely am. No, they definitely are respawning, because there's that fucking one over there still there. Oh, and it's going to be AM, and it's going to do the fucking camera thing. Ah! Well, okay, at least I'm back up here. Right. So here... Ah! Would you fuck off? Right. Let's head up here and see if we can lure any guys towards us. There's one over there that's dead, and I actually need this final arrow because I need to turn that off. So let's see if I make this. Either way, this is going to be the end of the episode. Let's turn it into Deku Link and head into this flower and head over to the next flower and head over to the final one. I think I actually might be alright here. Let's see if there's another guy that's going to fuck me over. If not, I'm going to get this heart piece and I'm going to call the episode there. If I do, I'm still going to call the episode there. But there we go. Morning of the final day. We got a heart piece. Wonderful. So we have come this episode here to the ancient castle of Ikana. Through the well. Oh, look at that. Arrows. Oh, I'm going to kill so many guys next episode. We've done half of the ancient castle of Ikana. We've opened a switch which has shone some light into the castle. Next episode we're going to be doing the other half of the castle and then proceeding further into Ikana and the Stone Canyon. I hope you'll join me then. Thank you very much and good day.